All right, but the rumor is, yep, exactly. The rumor is that Rich Paul been calling around to the other team saying, look, if y'all take Bronny, he's going to Australia. We've already worked the deal out. Ooh, talking about the 48 laws of power. Damn.
It's not today's price.
Yo.
It's safe money where the knowledge prevails. It's the head for me. Y'all can chase the tail. Pick so precise, it's like we're reading it in braille. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Toothpick Shakur, aka Mr. Audacity. Yes, sir. And we are back with the 7th episode of the Safe Money Podcast. Man, what a day. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. In the sports betting world and in the NBA, man, it's been a day. It has been a day. Making sure we good over here, yeah? Yeah. So, as you all can tell, I'm short-staffed today, which is not a problem. Definitely not tripping over that. You know, the show and everything else, you know, it has to go on, you know. So that's what we're gonna do here today. We're gonna continue to move forward. Like I said, man, it was a day. It was a day today. It was a day today. A day in MLB and a day, of course, in the NBA. And so, hey, we here. We're locked in. We're ready to go. I'm having some issues right now with my laptop acting funny. You know, it's something how things just always happen or get in the way. You know, when you're doing something. You know what I mean? You know, 15, 20 minutes prior to us getting ready to do what we have come here to do. No issues, no problems at all. And as soon as we like, yeah, let's go. And action. Problems. It's wild out here, baby. It's wild out here. It's like this diamond. It's wild out here. All right. It get crazy in here, man. You know, and when you know, it is what it is. You know, so we moving forward. Let's go. Hey, I want to first and foremost welcome all of you to the Safe Money Podcast, your go-to source for all the latest and greatest in sports and urban culture. We're here to break down the trending topics, give you our insight, our inside scoop, and provide expert insights on everything from game day strategies to culture. Whether you're a seasoned bettor, a sports fanatic, or just someone who loves staying on top of the urban scene, we've got something for you. So tune in and stay informed, and let's make some safe money. Yeah, here we go. We back, baby. Safe money. We are back. I really don't even know where to begin. Like, you know, should I just jump dead in the middle with what I want to talk about, what I really want to talk about? Because I know you all was sitting around like I was watching the draft. I know you were sitting around like I was, locked into the draft, waiting and anticipating in hopes to see exactly where Prince James was headed. Are you shocked? I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Look, let's go ahead and jump in and deal with the NBA draft. Is that all right? Are we set up? Are we finally set up? Thank you. Let's deal with the NBA draft. All right. The question I think that needs to be had is simply, where in the hell is the NBA going? I mean, it is an imported industry right now. I mean, it's like the entire country, they're just going overseas getting work. What is going on? And I was talking to a partner of mine. We played high school ball together, and he brought out the fact that the guys overseas, right? These guys in France, they practice more than they play. I was like, for a while, was talking. Maybe I was just, trying to figure out a way how to rebuttal what he said, and so I basically, I guess, was having a hard time digesting what he was talking about because I was trying to rebuttal, and then I thought about, I was like, break that down. He was like, well, when we was coming up, we practiced daily, and probably played 3 to 4 games during the AAU season. And I was like, huh? I didn't. Now we had a bunch of tournaments. We stayed in some tournaments, but the overall for the overall view of everything, we spent a lot of time practicing, repetition. We would go to camps, and for the first 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of the camp, man, we going over drills that do not make sense. At the time, as children, they didn't make sense. But as we got older and began to progress and establish ourselves as individual ball players, we realized that these left-hand layups, they make sense. Dribbling around these cones, as small and minute as they appear, it actually makes sense. And so, and shout out to my dog Lester, that the guys overseas, they're spending a lot of intimate time working on the fundamentals of the game. Passing, shooting free throws, layup. That's why a lot of the big men come over here so skilled, because they have, since they were small, learned the fundamentals of the game. And they're able to come over here, 7 feet, nice soft touch. And this was going back in the day when we was watching basketball, with Sabonis, Dirk Nowitzki, Detlef Schrempf. It wasn't Detlef Schrempf, it was Detlef Schrempf or whatever. He played with the Supersonics, you know what I mean? Tony Kukoc. I mean, in my eyes, the Chicago Bulls started the small ball that we see today. You know what I mean? Ron Harper, 6'6" at the 1. Jordan, 6'6" at the 2. Scottie Pippen, 6'8" at the 3. He was the power forward. I'm sorry, not the power forward. He was the point forward at 3. And then you had Tony Kukoc, who where he was from overseas, man, at 6'10", he pulling up. He's shooting the tray. He making a no-look pass. He getting the rebound. He in the paint. And for the first 3 or 4 years over here playing this Americanized basketball, Tony Kukoc, he was being handled like a, like a little rag doll. You know what I'm saying? He looked like a virgin at a cut party. They were passing him around. It was ugly, especially in that USA, the Olympics, when the Dream Team went over and Jordan and Pippen realized that this is who Phil been talking about. They've been talking about gonna come over here and they really showed off on it. But in my eyes, that was the first team to start playing the small ball. Ron Harper, Jordan, Pippen at 6'8" point forward, Tony Kukoc at the 4, and Dennis Rodman 6'8". Draymond Green down there guarding Shaq. But Dennis Rodman, we all can admit, was built totally different. The guys back then was built totally different. And no shade to the brothers who are now currently making this good money over here in the US of A, playing this game called basketball. Yeah. Wow. These guys, it's like the first, the top 10 was all overseas players. I'm pushing it, but you understand what I'm saying. I mean, what more can we say? What more can we say? That was the highlight of the day. Let's do a run through real quick. We had let's talk about the draft a little bit. We're not gonna stay hung on the draft, but I want to start off with the native because see, Safe Money, we North Carolina grown. You know what I'm saying? We homegrown, North Carolina bred and fed. This is where we know. Safe Money is from North Carolina, point blank. Period. Right. So to shout out one of our own, we're gonna call up Rob Dillingham. Is that all right? Robert, let's deal with it. Robert Dion Dillingham. He's from Hickory, North Carolina. I mean, he right around. I looked at the GPS. He probably like 20 minutes away from here. He around the corner. That's our cousin. Not blood, but in down here in South North Carolina, everybody cuz. Yeah. Everybody cuz. And so that cuz, he out here. He 19 years old. Yo, I ain't telling you nothing you don't know. 6'3". The Spurs, they picked him up in the 8th pick in the 2024 NBA draft. He went to Kentucky. He's from Hickory. He was picked up. He's 164 pounds. He was picked up by the Spurs. I really don't understand the significance of the trade. It is what it is. I hear boy is a shooter. So if he's a shooter, then that's what the Timberwolves needed. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is one of those drafts where kind of like, who is it? I watched the tournament. I didn't even hear of Dillingham. Maybe I'm just so hung up on Duke basketball till I missed it. So, hey, if I did, y'all forgive me. But Cuz is from around the corner. 8th overall pick. The Spurs picked him up and they decided to trade him. Dillingham he'll make $6.3 million next season as part of the rookie scale contract. With the total value of his contract being, worth $28.6 million. The move was a big commitment from ownership, and this move here will pay the luxury tax for the first time since, I think they said 2019 or the 2020 season, right? So the Timberwolves trade up for Dillingham. So he goes to the Spurs to snare Kentucky guard Rob. The Timberwolves trade up with the Spurs to snatch Kentucky guard Rob Dillingham. They trade up for him. Meanwhile, and I'm talking about the Spurs, in the process of getting Dillingham, they walked away with an unprotected 2031 first round pick and a protected 2030 first round swap. Now, I had to look it up what it meant unprotected, but I was watching the Bros yesterday, and I'm talking about Cam and May. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all help inspire us here to step out and do what we're doing. Nevertheless, I Cam explained what it meant to be protected and unprotected, and so unprotected means that once you get past the 10th pick, it's pretty much open season. But when you are protected, that means you're within the first through the 10th pick selection frame. So if you're selected through in the first round, 1 through 10, you protected. So the teams that had their eyes on you, it's pretty much guaranteed, unless they get together and huddle up and decide that they want to swap you out for something else. That's up to the management, the higher ups. But you're locked in, you protected. But anything after that, hey, it's almost like being in elementary school and y'all, those little straw candies, the little powder sugar, you trading them. We used to eat the straws, the plastic ones with the sugar in there. And I trade you the red one for the green one. I trade you the blue one for the pink one. Or the Starburst, you know what I'm saying? What flavor you like? Well, I give you 2 reds for that pink. This type of stuff. I love the pink. So that's how it operates. And so they swap my man's out, and he's with the Timberwolves. I don't think anything wrong with being swapped and now playing with a group of guys who lost in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe this brother here, Dillingham, was the missing piece, and we hope so. That way North Carolina can get a ring, can get our I would say North Carolina will get their 8th ring, because we had 6 from Jordan. I think Worthy had I'm sorry, wait a minute, 6 from Jordan. Probably I think Worthy might have 3 or 4. So you talking about 9. North Carolina boy, and then Curry, he got 5? Good, we racking them up. North Carolina is, I hear Indiana, whoop-de-woo, the best, the greatest that ever did it. He came from down the street, down in Wilmington, about a couple hours away. Got some cousins down there. Jordan Cuz. That's Cuz. They call him Cuz. Y'all call him Jordan, Mike, whatever. We call him Cuz. Look, let's move on. I can go, and I got to deal with this because Zach Edey. I was shocked they let Zach Edey hang around as long as they did. It was mind boggling. They bruh went at number 8 in the first round, and I'm just surprised. That's why we started out talking about where's the NBA headed. Where is the NBA headed? I mean, you look at Luka, not Luka. What's my boy in Denver, man? We've been talking about all these overseas guys, man. The Joker. Look at the Joker. Denver. They understand. They understand what Aaliyah meant when she says work the middle. They understand that. They throw the ball down there to the Joker. Up and under, pump. And every now and then he'll step out. He hit him with that. Yabba Every now and then. Every now and then he'll do that. But for the most part, my man, he works the middle. Let's not sit here and act like he doesn't work the middle. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at some highlights of him right now as we talking. So as I build my point. My man, he comes through and he works the middle. He works the middle on him. I mean, it's real simple and it's real easy. I'm confused, like I said, at how the at how Zach Edey slipped into that 9th spot. Then pull up some information. But the Grizzlies general manager Zach is pumped to welcome Zach Edey to Memphis, the first player in 40 years to win the men's college basketball player of the year award back-to-back seasons. He was selected 9th with the Grizzlies this Wednesday night. Yesterday they selected him early, and man, they showing some highlights, man. I believe this is a good trade. I mean, not a good trade, a good selection. I really do. I believe it was a good selection, and it gives I believe it'll give Ja, Bane. I believe it give all those guys an opportunity to take a break in a sense. We know that they're not going to take any breaks, but it's good to have a big man down there, a legit big man, because it's not a lot of bigs in the league anymore. There are not a lot of bigs in the league anymore. This league, I was talking with some guys, and I said, man, it's more of it's like a transgender league now, right? And not throwing any shade, just speaking the obvious. I mean, please do not be offended, nobody, all right? But we're living in a day and time where a man can identify himself. A man can identify himself with a female and be given the same rights and now the same respect as a female. Is what it is. I identify as Oh, female, identify as a man. Okay. Though we see what you are, this is who you identify with. And so the world is like, hey, that's who you identify with. Let them be them. And that's what the lead looks like, where you have a Wimby who's 8'1", getting a rebound, going coast to coast between the legs. Yank, yank, hezzy, yank, yank, between the leg, try, bang, bang, behind the back, bang, hezzy, cross, snatch, cross, fade away. Why? You 8'1". You 8'1". You a praying mantis out there. You a granddaddy long leg. Take your ass down there in that paint. Put your butt on someone's chest and dunk. That's all we need. That's what we are. He evidently he identifies as Steph Curry.
All right. Quick commercial break. So look, let's just deal with it. Let's deal with it. Because like I said, you have these guys transgender players, man. They identifying as this and that. And I'm not mad. The game has ultimately expanded, and it's not about position anymore. It's about skill. And I'm not hating on that. It's interesting. And amazing to see someone like Giannis at 6'10". So we celebrate that. But it's just the league, the game is just so different now. Speaking of different, first time in history, LeBron James can become teammates next season with his oldest son, Bronny. A dream come true. The other 29 teams had to curb and urge to select Bronny in the 2024. The other 29 teams, they got curbed. It's stated, it's said, possibly, I don't know. I wasn't there. All right, but the rumor is, yep, exactly. The rumor is that Rich Paul been calling around to the other team saying, look, if y'all take Bronny, he's going to Australia. We've already worked the deal out. Ooh, talking about the 48 laws of power. Damn. Yo, Charlotte, forget it. If y'all pick him up, take him to listen, that would have been Charlotte. That would have been the play right there for Charlotte. Hey, hell, take his ass to Australia. Because we coming for him. Places, cities like Charlotte, you all should have been on Bronny from Jump Street. Maybe they were. We don't know. These small venues, man, he may not be the king, but he's the heir of the throne. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. He's the prince. He could end up being, the way this league is, he could end up being, later on, that guy. Man, and don't say, oh man, it's impossible. Some of the things that I've encountered and seen and gone through myself personally, I said, man, that never happened to me. Hell, it happened. So it's nothing. First time ever in history, father and son. I saw on Instagram a lot of comments and people talking about, Bronny becoming a Laker and how, oh man, I can't blame LeBron. His son didn't even really get that. They trying to consider Bronny as if he Tyreek St. Patrick. Now we know Tyreek had no business doing and becoming who he is right now. You know what I mean? We ain't even for the first 2 seasons, he only had like 3 lines the entire time. I don't know if the boy was learning how to read or whatever, but he didn't even have a whole lot of lines, and then all of a sudden he get his own book. Pause. He kills his daddy, then gets his own book. Let me back up. He gets in the game so deep until he runs game on Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and has him taken off the board. Man, listen, the same ones that have a problem with Bronny being picked up by his dad's team are the same ones who watch Power with Tyreek. I don't watch it. I'm good. Nevertheless, I just don't understand how people are having a problem with this. I mean, the good book says that a good father leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. Evidently, LeBron read that particular passage. This man is leaving a legacy behind, wherein you have, and not downing, but Michael Jordan, 2 boys, I ain't never seen them. I don't even know, if they was to walk, I wouldn't even know who they were. And I heard, both of them, they didn't grow in, stature. They were, they probably 6 feet, but they were never on the scale of their dad. But I mean, they're doing well. But even the GOAT himself, he wasn't able to influence his boys to. I think they played a little collegiate ball, so I'm not knocking that. I mean, they went as far as they could go. But when you don't have that growl in your stomach, like Jordan and LeBron has, it doesn't. You don't bring that type of effort to the table, and you can say that Bronny and Bryce, they're just privileged. However you want to put it, it doesn't matter. If you as a father have anything worth any value where it can benefit you and your children and your children's children, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna set them up so that when you exit out, you don't have to worry about how they're gonna eat. You put everything in place for everybody to strive and succeed. That's what a man does. That's what a father does. He puts himself in a position so that when it's time for him to move on, they'll be able to not just survive, but strive. That's that's the word. That's a word right there. You just don't want to survive. You want to strive. I don't want to see my children surviving. I want them striving. Yeah, I don't worry about where I'm gonna eat or if I'm gonna eat. No, I'm just, all I gotta do is just figure out, what do I have a taste for? What is my taste buds? What am I inquiring today? And not worrying about anything. And so this man has just made a boss. It's just a chess move that he's made. And him and Rich Paul, they have done a good job of just stacking the deck. That's what this is. It's stacking the deck. I love it. I love it. Shh. Man. 2019, Rich Paul never said, listen, if y'all pick up Bronny, we're going to Italy, we're going to Australia. All right, Mike. Sorry, Mike. Well, I'm tipping my shoulder, Mike. He said, no, this ain't happening. We're going up out of here. We're gonna go somewhere where you can go to an Outback and get breakfast, nigga. That's where we going. Second, the Los Angeles Lakers. First, the other 29 teams had to curb Bronny. It was on Instagram. They said Rich Paul was a picture of him on the phone. And that's the thing, man. The internet crazy. Picture of Rich Paul on the phone. He probably was ordering Uber Eats, man, making reservations while the game was going on. But they were saying that he was talking to the 2019. Said, "Listen, y'all pick him up. We out of here." And so, second, the Los Angeles Lakers, his father's team since 2018, LeBron's team since 2018. Had to make the choice at number 55. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't matter to me what number I get, what number they call my name. Just as long as my name is called. I can't hear nobody talking back to me. I don't care. Man, I could be dead last. Cut me the check. Because a father, I remember, rest in peace, Pop. I remember when, I got my first job. My dad was like, "Oh, you got your job, that was up. Listen, go to work every day. Make that money. Stay out of my pocket." Yeah? Now, look, this boy been wanting that ghost, that rose. Man, he want to take trips and do all. Bron is like, "Listen, man, I got a budget. I have a budget. Y'all can't supersede this budget. I know I am who I am, but I got your mama to take care of. And mama gotta eat and love nice things and want nice things too. And she can do things for me that none of y'all can." Huh? Yeah. And let that soak in for you. She can do things none of y'all can for the king. Gray! Let me get a gray, baby. Gray! You can't, but Bronny Bryce, you can't feed your daddy grapes. She can, though. So look, man, I'm gonna set you up. I remember one of the jobs my daddy hooked me up with. I was cutting up real bad. I had, was at 170 State, quit, and like, "Look, you gonna work. Cause this shit you doing is crazy. You gonna work." He called me Nathaniel Bowles. Everybody, you from around the area, you know Mr. Bowles. And Mr. Bowles had me out, man, in Greensboro putting shingles on houses, baby. It was hot. It was around might have been around this time. Man, he called lunch. "What you want?" And I said, "I don't want nothing," because I knew when lunchtime came, I was walking my black ass from Greensboro back to High Point, North Carolina. And as I sit here today, yeah, I'm here today to witness a testimony that when he called for lunch, I grabbed everything I had, my cell phone, took my shirt off, and walked from Greensboro to High Point. And I let that job go. What is your point? My dad saw that I needed a job, and he reached out to the people that he was connected to. Now, unfortunately, he had other resources, but I think that was just a chess move to get me back in school, and I went back. That was a good move, Pop. Rest in peace. The point is that LeBron is just simply, these are the resources that he has, unfortunately. Fortunately for him, unfortunately for some of you, the haters that don't like this. I love it. Man, listen, he doesn't even have to go out here and be his dad. He just has to be him. Though he's carrying the name and the weight. And it's a great look, because now you're going to a team wherein you don't have to fall subject to some of the things that other players have fallen subject to. Because I'm going to tell you something. There's some guys in the league right now. Envy. Let me start over. Let me say it this way. Envy and jealousy are two different things. All right. Jealousy is someone being jealous of you because they don't have what you have. That's jealousy. But envy, an envious nigga. Ooh, I almost said something. I almost went. Hey, let me calm down. Someone that envious, someone that has envy in their heart. Look, they work just like you. They have a house just like you. They have a car. They have kids just like you. But they don't want to ever see you with anything better or more. Like you, they got a new house, but they don't want you to get a new house. They get a new car, but they don't want you to get a new car. They have it, but don't want you to have it. Jealousy is just someone that doesn't have it, and they just jealous of the fact that you have it and they don't. I get it. I get you being jealous. I get you being jealous because you don't have it. So you can understand a jealous person. But dog, we play on the same squad. Huh? Them freaks were looking at all of us. Why you mad? They all around. They ready. Why you mad at me? Because this one won't. Envy is something else. And so my point is that there'll be some guys, man, on the team envying Bronny. If he'd have gone anywhere else, they're lying. But they would give Bronny the hardest time. You here because your dad owns the company. Because, Bron, I looked up, well, LeBron is a part of the union or the players union or whatever. I think they have a player union or whatever. He's a part, him and Chris Paul, they're over that. Oh, yeah, you here because your daddy, man. I got it out the mud. I got it. So what? He get it out the mud. So what? All he had to do was maintain a 3.5 GPA and shoot 1,000 elbow jump shots, or work on his handles. That's the hand he was dealt. We got to get out of that mode. We got to get out of that mode, man. We have got to get out of that mode. And so it'll be some guys up there, man, that would love to see him make some mistakes and actually set him up to make some of these mistakes. And so I think it's a great thing because look, he has all this money now. He has all this money, and I can imagine him going playing for another team, and you know how they haze they haze other players. I can imagine. Oh yeah, it's on you, Rook. It's on you, Rook. Hey, if you ain't got it, call your dad. Call the king. Let him. Yeah. Yo, bring my son over here. He gonna work with me. Anybody got a problem with it? Don't let me find out. Let's go, LeBron. I love it. Black excellence at its finest, baby. Black excellence at its finest. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's an excellent thing. And so, Woof. This is lovely. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. We spent enough time here. We're gonna deal with some more of the trade later on this week. But he went 55 in the trade. I mean, in the NBA draft. LeBron James needed to last 21 years in the league to make this possible. Man, I gotta hurry up. 21 years in the league to make this possible, and he carried his end of the deal with amazing results. Now, Bronny James has the opportunity to play well enough beside his father, which he did, as projected, as planned. He took care of his body. This is well deserved, man. Salute to the king, man. All right, now in the MLB, Ooh. Sorry, y'all. I think I messed around and hit the switch. In the MLB, man, we had some crazy things take place in the MLB, man. Golly. But hey, the good news is that on yesterday, out of the 4 games, we lost one. Out of the 4, we lost one. I gave you all yesterday. Baltimore Orioles with the spread. Angels, the Halos, Los Angeles Angels. Woo! With the line. Huh? Minnesota Twins. Spadini, Ani, Oso. Because 2 picks Shakur say so. You heard? Then lastly, the New York Yankees, man. The Yankees. They did us wrong, man. They did us wrong, dog. 4 out of 3. 4 out of 3. If you run them straight, the strategy here at Safe Money 365, I encourage you all to run them straight. 4 games. I hope you ran them straight. Put them on a parlay. We all know what happened. But at least you did not leave any crumbs on the table. That that just irks me. Okay? So we looking good with that. We straight right here. All right. So that's what took place on yesterday. We had the Minnesota Twins to come out there, and those bats got the swinging. They covered that spread unanimously, 13-6. They had 13 strokes. They were getting at it. The Arizona Diamondbacks didn't play bad. They just couldn't get any runs. They ended up with 9 strokes, bringing them in 6 runs. Next up, we had the Baltimore Orioles 11-2. Those bats got the swinging as well for both teams. It just Baltimore was able to hold Texas to 2 runs while they stroked for 12 hits on yesterday. I'm talking about Texas and Rangers. And then for the Baltimore Orioles, they stroked out with 14 strokes. They got the stroking with them bats, you heard? And they 14 strokes, and they only came out with 11 runs. Only came out with 11 runs. And so we're thankful today. We celebrate that. We're able to bring out the champagne. Matter of fact, let me get a little more glass of my... Yeah, so Baltimore Orioles 11-2. Next up, we had the Halos, Los Angeles Angels, 5-0. Those bats got swinging as well. They had 8 strokes. Detroit had 4. They couldn't put any runs up. Fortunately for us tonight, Fortunately for us on last night, the Angels was able to put up 5 runs. Last but not least, we had those New York Yankees who did nothing for us. Matter of fact, they couldn't get out there and get their stroke going for nothing. They only had 3 hits, while Toronto had 11. I was kind of discombobulated with that whole game, considering the fact that the Yankees are who they are playing as well as they've been playing. They had a little downside slope coming out of that Atlanta Braves series where they gave up 2 out of the 3. And I thought that they were going to pick it back up, but they didn't. So, today, I have a few games, but here's my Shakur. My Shakur is simple. I'm going with the Tigers on today. I'm going with the Tigers with the 1.5 with the spread, the Spredini Osolini. We taking the Tigers with the spread, 1.5. I believe that they're going to come out tomorrow, and I believe that they're going to come out today, and they're going to go out there and handle business. They're going to go out there and handle business with Detroit. Next up for my Shakur, number 1, what did I give you? I said Detroit with the Spredini Anioso. The Spredini.
That's the safe open up.
Take him. Secondly, New York Yankees.
That's the safe open up. Let the safe open up.